Actually, it would be nice to start with a little meditation. I'll share with you a simple practice to awaken the crown chakra, which represents ultimate freedom, the crown center, path of kings and queens. So you can kind of follow my example, and we're going to use a particular mantra, a Sanskrit mantra, which is the word Anandoham. So the word is Anandoham. It means I am bliss. A very, very helpful spiritual practice to do every day. And so in order to keep our attention on the crown, this is going to be kind of funny, maybe going back to kindergarten. You place your hand on your head, on top of your head, and we will focus on this center and taking a deep breath into the crown center, and then speak the word Anandoham with me, and we'll do it a few times. So taking a deep breath in. Anandoham. Breathing out all the air. Deep breath into the crown. Anandoham. Breathing out all the air. Again, deep breath in. Anandoham. Two more breaths. Anandoham. Anandoham. And then you relax your hand, your arm. Relaxing your face, your shoulders. Just set our intention to feel the energy and presence that you just created. And just imagine the crown center at the top of the head opening, turning into light. And that light expanding out of the head to fill the entire room. And then visualizing that light expanding infinitely there's only one infinite cosmic light. You are that one light. There is only you. And so it is. So the point is to have a real experience, for the realization of infinity to become alive within you, to understand that, to realize that, to know it. You know, without the experience, what's the point in philosophy? You could talk all day long about spirituality and not feel your true self. Miss the whole point. It may be fun to talk about spiritual things. I certainly think it's fun. But the actual experience is something that's so vast, so extraordinary, way beyond normal human consciousness. That's what I'm interested in. Not just talk. So, you know what I did. I sought out help, emergency call. I'm desperate to find my own self, to find my truth. Who am I? What am I? So, in 2006, I began an odyssey journey, and sought out the company of great spiritual masters, sat in their presence and basked in their energy and light. I figure, if you're going to learn spirituality, you might as well try to find a master. It makes a lot of sense. Anything you want to master, find someone who is the best and learn from them. So that's what I did. And there was one particular yogi I met. His name was Baba Haridas. He lived in Mount Madonna in Watsonville. Has anyone been? Yeah. Okay, great. Two people, yeah. Did you ever meet Baba Haridas?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's sort of the original yogi who started that place, but a very holy place. You can feel it when you and when you have a master who's presiding over a property like that, over a retreat center. It's an extraordinary place to be in. That being's energy kind of fills that land. You hang out with him, and it sends you into another realm. It's a beautiful experience. And the funny thing was, when I saw him, he had already been in silence for probably almost 30 years. He didn't speak a word. If people asked him a question, he wrote an answer on his little chalkboard. What is the meaning of life? Love. He was just he'd have to write really simple answers because there wasn't much room on that chalkboard. I hung out with him. I felt the presence and the energy. He had done the work to reach these extraordinary states of consciousness that I was searching for. And it was rubbing off on me just sitting in silence with him. That was very exciting. So, oh, this is how you learn about spirituality. Not just reading books. Basking in the energy of those great beings that have reached enlightened states. So, and I continued on meeting many different masters and saints over the years. And then in 2008, ta-da! That's why I light a little candle. Actually, this is a pretty big candle. It's probably the biggest candle I've lit for him. This is Sri Swami Purna Maharaj. He's still living. An ancient being from the high Himalayas. People call him a yogi from the high Himalayas. He came to New York City in 2008 to a retreat, and I went to that retreat. I flew from, was it Austin? No. From Los Angeles to New York to be with him for about 4 days. And when he walked into the room, I realized I had come home. I had finally found the so-called spiritual master that I was searching for. I could feel the energy. The way I describe it was like my soul moved. I knew this was it, and started to, do the spiritual teachings that he recommended. I say, if the master gives you a spiritual teachings, you better do it. So I did, and I worked hard. 4 years straight of chanting the mantras, doing the yoga asanas, doing the breath practices, and deep breathing. Contemplation, visualization, anything he recommended, anything you do that's given to you by the master, that's like connecting to that consciousness. So it gives you power and rocket fuel in your spiritual practice. It's no longer a normal practice that you got on Google, or for that matter, AI. This is supercharged practice. And after the 4 years, I went to see him in Miami, Florida, at another retreat. And that's when he asked me to renounce everything and set out on the road and share these spiritual teachings. And guess what spiritual teachings are? The path to freedom, the path to liberation. This is not about a country being liberated. This is about freeing you from your own mind that has been dominating you for many lifetimes. Trapped in the consciousness of this limited mind that thinks it's so smart. Be careful about getting too smart. You might think you know something. There's a big danger. Once you say, I know, then, you lose your humility. You create a veil. Always come before the divine saying, I know nothing. Please show me the way. I am at your feet. Why do you think great saints who follow Jesus Christ always just wanted to sit at his feet? It's a sign of humility. I know nothing. Living in a tiny human mind. Just because I'm a doctor or a lawyer or a president or a prime minister, those people still suffer in their mind. They're still hurting, dominated by ego. Problem consciousness. Every day we wake up and try to solve so many problems. All day, our whole life, and at the end of our death we go, wow, I solved a lot of problems. I'm so happy. I solved so many problems. But what about your soul? So this is the master, the true spiritual master, is a mirror for us. When you look into the picture, you're looking into your own mirror, your own self. They're trying to awaken you to your own self, to free you. And, there's a word to describe the passion to find liberation. You know what it is? It's a Sanskrit word. Moksha. What a great word. Here it is. Moksha. That sounds more exciting. It means eager to find liberation, to free myself of all my reactions and worries and fears and hatreds and all that stuff that just keeps poking on and on and on, never ending our whole life. How can we free ourselves of all that? That's the journey, the spiritual journey. Mumukshu, person who has gained a passion to free themselves. And then the word for liberation is moksha, freedom. So on July 4th, we should be celebrating the moksha, liberation, freedom, to find that finding of our soul. Once you find your soul, you are no longer dominated by the mind that tells you what to do. Mind is a program, is it not? Based upon our subconscious and unconscious beliefs, and our conscious as well. But all of our programs in this mind, which we call as me, I, the me. I have to tell you something. That's not you. This person that's sitting here, listening, this is not you. You're somewhere else. We need to find the real you. This is why people, spiritual seekers, have been contemplating this question of who am I for so long. And I think that one of the issues regarding the pursuit of freedom is we don't even know to pursue it. Think about that for a moment. We don't even know what to look for because we've been so bound by our mind and ego. We think that is normal life, and we just accept it and go on, believing that whatever the thoughts that are happening right now is me. On and on and on, we identify with the creature instead of identifying with the divinity. So, the guru or the messiah or the great saint or the great master comes along and tries to convince spiritual seekers to search for something beyond this world, to find the soul. And how do you convince people who are so stuck? It kind of reminds me of the monkey in India. You know, you heard how the monkey hunter, he catches the monkey. He ties the thin neck bottle to a tree and he fills it with chickpeas. And he just waits. And the monkey's like, you smell that? So I love chickpeas. Stuffs his hand into the bottle and, starts to pull. And of course, the bottle's tied to a tree, so he's pulling and pulling, and he's trying to get the chickpeas out. But he can't get his fist out because his fist is bigger than the neck of the bottle. He's pulling. I'm trapped. Calling for his friends. Help! I can't escape. I'm trapped. What's that monkey's solution? To get to freedom? Just let go. And then easy to escape and to find freedom. We are in the same dilemma as the monkey. So exciting to experience the drama of this body and mind. It's so exciting. That's why we have Netflix. We watch exciting drama movies. We love drama consciousness. On and on and on. We get so excited. How many movies can we watch before we get bored? After you've eaten enough ice creams, enough cakes, watched enough movies, you ask the question, what's next? And then the search for the spiritual master who will show me the way back to my own soul. I want to be free. Some saints who are trying to find God, Jesus, they're crying day and night, missing their beloved, desperate to return back to their soul. This is what they're crying over. When was the last time you cried over missing God? We cry over more like material things. If we lose a house or money or whatever, and we hurt and we in pain. These saints, they're not interested in houses and money anymore. They want to find, they want to go back home. That's why they're crying, missing their God, missing the soul. And so, that path, that's the path of devotion. In Sanskrit, the word for devotion is bhakti. You heard that word before. Bhakti. A longing to find my God, my Lord. And so the bhakta, the person who's devoted, can't live without him or her. And it may be a certain symbol. It doesn't have to be necessarily Jesus. Depending on what represents the divine to you. Some people are searching for Buddha, some people are searching for Ram, some are searching for Krishna. They're all pointing towards infinite consciousness. Those were their teachings. They're, in one way, you could say they're the same being. Isn't that interesting? You talk about the guru. They're all the one guru. They represent a consciousness of infinite light. They're the same. They may have come down with a particular role and expression of divinity, which is different from the outside, but internally, their recognition of infinity is the same. We want to become like them. They are our heroes. We want to be with them. So, that word, moksha, and there's a particular mantra, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu, moksha rupena sanstita, namastasye, 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 namo namah. I bow to you, O Goddess, who represents liberation. Please show me the way. So, I realize I don't have much time left. I really wanted to talk to you way longer about this. Normally I would do a gathering afterwards. We're not doing it this time because it's a holiday. I try to come once a year if I can, but if you really want to kind of follow more of the teachings, you can listen to some of the recordings of the gatherings and keep attuning to the energy, which is the point, keep attuning, and you will get closer and closer to that moksha, to that liberation. And I just also wanted to thank Reverend Ron for inviting me. He's invited me kind of year after year to share. And, not every church wants such radical teachings. I mean, they're pretty radical. They're pretty wild. I understand that. Not everyone is into this. So thank you all for coming, and namaste.